Welcome to my channel, Bible Pilgrim, Inspire, Praise and Worship. And I thought I would do a bit of an end of month roundup, although I haven't published a video for at least probably 2 months or so. I did do a post the other day, and I do thank you for the lovely people left encouraging comments on that post. Just been feeling at a bit of a loss of just where to go with my channel and what to do with it. But I think I'm just going to keep plodding along and just being myself, because that's who I am. Anyway, I thought I would just do a bit of a run through. I did basically do that in the post I wrote, but visually it's nice to see things as well. So I thought I would start with my lovely Allan Bible. I wanted to show you, it's got a couple of marks on it. I don't know how that happened, because I only use it inside. I do keep it on my bedside table, and I do wonder whether some water dropped onto it, but although the pages aren't crinkled, it's just like the colouring has gone from the gilding. But I guess that's part of using a Bible, isn't it? So I finished the New Testament and I'm working my way through the Old. I have slowed down a bit actually. I've dipped into various different things, but I've got quite a long way to go. I don't mark in this Bible. I'm literally just reading it, and I'm just currently reading through the Psalms at the moment. Yeah, you can see the mark on here too. So I'm guessing it's probably the only thing I can think it possibly could be is a tiny little bit of water, but from my glass. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, but there you go. It's still a beautiful Bible, and it doesn't detract from it, and it's all part of using it, isn't it? So I'm going to continue with that. I want to do a lot more reading this month, but this next month I've been having a little bit of trouble with my eyes. I do suffer from dry eyes, and they're quite blurry at the moment, which could be because my tear ducts aren't working quite right. So hopefully with some drops that will help that. So that is my beautiful RL Allen NLT. If I stick with the NLTs to start with, I still use my Inspire Bible weekly for Bible studies, and we're currently working through Genesis. We are very slow at going through it. I'd already worked through Genesis myself, but now we're going through it in an actual Bible study, so it's quite good. We're having August off, but yes, so I'm doing that, and I'm also doing 1 Timothy with my white Bible, who does Bible studies. I will put the link to her channel down below. I think I'm 2 chapters behind. I've just done chapter 1 and chapter 2, maybe only 1 chapter behind. So I will hopefully do that this afternoon. So this is still used weekly, if not most days. And it's still my favourite Bible. It probably always will be, because of course it was the first one that I dipped into when I decided to start reading the Bible. Right, what's next? I can't remember if I did a review of this. I think I did. I think I did a review of my son's, and then I decided to get it for myself. And I've been dipping into this. I've been reading things in here. I love the little peace notes that are in this Bible. It's a New King James, and I've been reading various things through here. Sometimes I will read the chapter in here that I'm going to work on in my Net Bible, because I like to have the comparisons. So quite often I'm reading this first, and then I will work through the Net Bible. So that's what I'm doing with this beautiful piece of God Bible, and it's a really nice Bible, and the font's a good size. Right, so I'm still working through my Abide Net Bible. I have done most of the Old Testament. The ones I haven't done were ones that I'd recently finished in my Inspire Bible, so that's why I have kept those for last. So I'm currently working through Proverbs, and I am up to 15, but I've definitely slowed down. Whereas I was doing several chapters a day, I'm probably managing 2 at the moment a day, and I did have a bit of time off from doing it as well. I had most of June off actually. Yeah, well, I had about a month off. So, but I'm back into that. I would like to try and work through this whole Bible this year. Maybe I'm being a bit optimistic now because we're halfway through. Yeah, over halfway through. So that is what I'm doing with my Abide Net Bible. I decided to write out Philippians, and I started with the NLT, and then I thought it might be interesting to write it out in different translations. So I did the NLT, then I did the NKJV, and then the CSB, and I actually found this little pocket Holman Christian Standard Bible, which is previous to the CSB, in this little Christian bookshop. It's sort of it was in the free section, although we still donated to it. I've actually got a video where I just tidied it up a bit. I think someone spilt perfume on it, so it does have a bit of an odd smell about it, but it's such a handy size to stick in my bag. And I like how this one actually capitalizes God, He, Jesus, you know, the pronouns of God and Jesus. So that's just a little Bible that I don't have to worry too much about chucking in my bag when we go out. So I did the CSB, and then I thought I might also write it out from the Holman Christian Standard Bible to compare it, but I didn't. I've left the pages. Each translation takes 5 pages. So then I did the NIV, the 2011. And I've just finished that, and I also want to do the 1984 because I do like that. But again, I'm going to just leave the 5 pages, and I'm going to do some other translations. I want to do the KJV, the NASB, and the ESV. It probably sounds a bit like a waste of time, but I just thought it might be quite nice. I'm hoping that through doing this, I will be able to memorize Philippians pretty well, because it's a really good book for people who are suffering anxiety, or they just need something. It's like a happy book. It's filled with positive advice and things like that, and I thought that might be quite a good one. And also my husband's and my son's baptism verses are in Philippians as well, so it's sort of got a special place. So yeah, that's just what I'm just using this notebook for. I just thought it would be good practice. I haven't been able to do this kind of writing for a long time after a shoulder operation I had. Handwriting was really hard work. I can't do it really with a biro, but with a fountain pen I can. I don't do any more than a chapter at a time because it's too much, and obviously I wouldn't do it if they were really long chapters, but it's just, I can just do a chapter without it hurting too much. That's a real positive thing. So that's what I'm doing with that. I mentioned in my post that I've finished reading Tozer, the Essential Tozer. I think I enjoyed the first book more than the last, possibly, but I've tabbed lots of things that I want to go back and relook at. But I needed a break after reading that. It was really good. I did enjoy it a lot. And as I say, I've tabbed things. I'm not very good at highlighting in books. That I only tend to highlight in like the Inspire Bible and then the Net one. I'm not very good at writing or highlighting in other books, but I might do that with that. And then this one. Now I really enjoyed this. This seemed to make so much sense to me in many ways. The way it explained the tabernacle was just absolutely fascinating, I found. And the way it's related to Jesus. I just really, really enjoyed it. And it just seemed to make so much more sense that I didn't get out of reading the Bible. Even to the way the tribes were distributed and how they were distributed in the numbers, and that they actually come out in the shape of a cross with the different numbers. I mean, just fascinating. And yeah, you don't have to, you can't take it all literally, and you've got to check on the Bible yourself to see whether you agree with some of the things that are said in that. But I definitely really enjoyed this, and it has made so much more sense to me. And again, I've got things highlighted, and what I'm going to do with this is, now I've read it all the way through, I'm going to go back through it and write my own notes. And I got given this little folder thing from someone, a friend, a long time ago, and I bought these little notebooks a long time ago in TK Maxx, I think it was, and they fit in here perfectly. So I'm just going to use these. I'm trying to use things I have. I've been really good with not spending too much this year. I had a bit of a blitz last year, so I need to tighten the purse strings. So yeah, I just really am enjoying that. That's what my plans are for this. And I don't know, recently I've got back into reading my CSB. I read this through in 2024, 2020, early 2025. So I'm just reading back through it again. And again, I've highlighted verses that mean things to me. I might start highlighting things in this, just probably in a yellow or something, just verses that stick out. So I've been reading this probably partly because this has such lovely large print. I think it's 12-point font. So it's a good sized Bible, as you can see. I don't have a big hand. It's a really good sized Bible, and it's a nice readable font. Yeah, as I said, I've got a video of me tidying this up. Some of it's in what do you call it, time lapse. I may add that onto the end, so if anyone's curious, they can watch the end of this video. Depends how long this video comes out at. Otherwise I may do it as a separate video. And then lastly, I did splash out. I say I've been tightening the belt, but I did splash out on this Baker Illustrated Bible. I bought this from American Amazon because it was way cheaper and got to me way quicker than if I'd ordered it on the UK Amazon. USA has such cheap Bibles compared to us here in the UK. I mean, they are just such good prices. My husband recently bought himself a really lovely genuine leather King James study Bible, and it's really nice, and it was just such an incredible price compared to what they are here. So I've been dipping into this actually as I work through the Proverbs. I have several Bible studies I use when I'm study Bibles. I have several study Bibles I use when I'm working through this. So I tend to use this. I use my Spirit-Filled Life Bible. I use my 1984 NIV study Bible, my NLT study Bible, and my CSB study Bible. So I've got them all spread out, just like, it gets a bit ridiculous actually, but I like to compare notes, see whether there's something in there that I want to note down, read what they've got to say. And this is a little bit different to some of the other study Bibles in that it does sections, so it addresses sections rather than each individual verse. So it's done a different way, and initially I wasn't sure whether I liked it like that, but I'm actually really enjoying it. And this is a lovely Bible. If anyone wants me to do a review of this, do let me know. There are reviews already online of this Bible, which is why I decided to get it. But yeah, this is my newest study Bible, and I'm really pleased I've got it. So that's the only other thing is I've got my little prayer journal. I'm not very good at writing things down in here, but I have kind of just decorated it a little bit. And I've got a section for family, I've got a section for answered or otherwise prayers, and then I've got a section for other people and church. So I've got a few sections there. I just need to label them. And so I'm going to try and do a bit more on that, but I tend to, most of my praying, I pray when I walk the dogs, which you've sometimes seen on some of my videos, and I pray at other times of the day as well, obviously, but that's kind of my main prayer time is when I'm walking Peter usually. So that's my update. What I plan to do in August is I want to go completely, I'm not a huge person who spends a lot of time on social media. I don't spend time on Instagram, or I don't have TikTok. I only have Facebook on my computer, and I'm only on that because I run a group, and I just have to just check that I'm not very active on the group, but I make sure it's keeping in line. So I usually check that first thing in the morning and in the evening. So if we've got requests for people to join, or I've got to approve posts or things like that, I can do them. And the only other thing I use is YouTube, but I do watch YouTube, and I want to try and have the month of August off it if I can, so that the only time I'm on a computer or gadget is first thing in the morning when I'm checking that group, and in the evening when I'm checking that group. And I also do have to check on Thursdays for the agility classes that one of my dogs goes to, because that's done through there as well. But otherwise, I want to not use it. I want to try and read as much of the Bible again as I can. I want to continue working through the NLT, try and do a lot more reading. I read a lot anyway, but I want to do a lot more. I want to really focus on that. I want to give my eyes a rest from screen time. As I say, I'm not hugely on it, but I do feel like I'm on it too much. So that's my goals for August. We will see how I get on. So anyway, thank you for listening to me rabble on. I would like to know what other people are doing, whether you dedicate certain times or whether you have time off from things, and if you've got any suggestions, if there's any Bible reviews you'd like to see. I do have quite a few study Bibles that we've collected over the last 6 years in particular. So if there's anything you would like a review on, that I can always see if I've got that Bible and I can do a review. What I would like to do is I would like to show my vintage Bibles. I've got my dad's, my grandparents, and my grandmother's foster parents or great grandparents. I'm not quite sure what they were, but that's from the 1800s. And then we've got a really big old Bible that I would also like to share as well. So that might be sort of in a vintage antique Bible video. But if I don't get that out, if I don't get that video done, recorded for August, before August, which is highly unlikely now, it probably won't be shown until September. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you've got this far, well done. Just like to say, God bless, read your Bibles, and we'll catch you again another time.